Okay, you're at the Watchmen Way. 1:30:20. You new folks have to bear with me a little bit. We're kind of changing the format of the show every night, so I'm just kind of juggling things around and seeing how it flows. So hang in there. It's going to be different probably in a week, and then different in a week down the road after that. So, but basically, I'm just trying to get you guys the best information I can, so we can be ready. I was called by God twice. Uh, Called by God. It's hard to explain, but these two particular times, it was like the best way I can describe it is being hit by a lightning bolt. But a very strange sensation that kind of bordered between being pleasant and uncomfortable. Anyway, in 2014, he called me to warn people, as many people as I could, about the first ever worldwide economic collapse that's about to happen any day, about the draining of the swamp, the worldwide swamp, which is about to happen any day, and exposure of the worldwide satanic pedophile ring, which is about to happen any day, or is happening every day, actually. Also showed me physical silver and Litecoin as ways not only to protect ourselves from what's coming in the economy, but also to use as tools to build the foundation of God's new church, which is basically Jesus's old church from 2,000 years ago, the way. The Catholic Church is coming down this year. God wants us to have the way up and running, ready to go, to fill the void left by the Catholic Church when it comes down. And there's going to be a big need because there's going to be millions of Catholics around the world who are going to be devastated by this, I think, when they really learn the truth. It's hard to believe that anybody could fall for what they're selling, the way they've acted for the last 50 plus years with these pedophile cases. And the Pope is ready to resign and put out an announcement that 70% of priests are homosexuals and 50% are pedophiles currently. It's not gonna go well around the world. It's the end. And people are going to be, Catholics especially, but the truth is coming about everything, guys. It's not just the Catholic religion. It's religion in general. Truth about the Bible. Truth about our history. Truth about the history of the world. It's the technology, the cures, it's mind-boggling, the things that these controllers, the globalists, the swamp, the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, there's these elites they're above the presidents. It's basically the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Pessoers. They're the ones at the very top, at the pinnacle. The presidents, prime ministers, they're basically peons. The royal family is probably even a step below the money. And these bloodlines that there's a lot of rumors about that I'm not going to get into because it doesn't make any difference as far as we're concerned. who these people are and where they came from is really irrelevant to what we're dealing with now, because President Trump's about ready to take all of them down. All of them. The Pacers, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. Take them down and strip them of their wealth. Anyway, getting back to my intro, and I'm still working on. So, our job as Watchmen is to red pill and prepare extra food, extra water, medical supplies, physical silver, and Litecoin. That's the basics. And then you need to do your own homework, look at your own skill set, where you live, take all those things into consideration, and then modify your list, add to that list with what you need based on your own personal situations. Anybody who's confused, you can either message me. Please do not send me anything that I have to open. I will not open anything on Messenger. I don't care who it comes from. I got burned last year when I opened something from a friend, I thought was a friend, who got hacked. So you can't ever tell who's sending it to you, because they're getting so good at this hacking. So text is fine, but message me or call me. My phone number's all over. I'll post it here again tonight. Call me if you've got any questions about any of this, about the prepping, about the whey, about the silver, the Litecoin. It's pretty straightforward, guys. You know, things have shifted quite a bit since I started this over 5 years ago. You know, then the situation looked pretty dire. Obama was president. Clinton was going to be next. So it looked. And today we're at, it's a 180. A complete opposite of where we were. They're on the verge of going down. These monsters who've been controlling the world are going down anytime. Certainly before the 2020 election. And the economy's going to be right behind it if the swamp goes first. You can't arrest Obama and Clinton without the economy coming down, just because the deep state will take it down. If it didn't come down on its own, the deep state would take it down as a way to try and, get their last shot in at President Trump. It's the only hope they have of winning the election, is to collapse the economy in October. It's not going to get that close. This all goes down, I think, before summer. We'll see. I mean, it's in God's hands now. I think I've been right on pretty much everything I've called, and honestly, guys, that's the other thing, is I'm starting to understand that God's talking to me, or having angels talk to me, a lot more than I thought. What I thought, I think, was my intuition, is more messages coming to me. The more I get into this, the more I see how accurate it is. Anyway, so I'm not selling anything. I don't charge any fees for anything I do. I don't accept donations. I don't monetize the videos. I've never taken a penny for the work I've done. I will never take a penny for doing this work. It's important that you understand the motivation for this. There's nothing in this for me, except for the satisfaction I get from doing the work. And that's more than enough. And that's why I challenge people. We've got this, the Way Challenge, the 1 week Way Challenge, where I'm challenging people to live the way for a week. And just for people who don't know what it is, it's basically, telling the truth every time, doing the right thing every time. It's living your life in the service of others. It's being a positive influence in your community. Uh, it's doing your part. It's pulling your weight. It's really going above and beyond. Really, um, that's the way. There's no priest, no bishop, no pope. There's no power structure. The donations don't go through any kind of formal path. We basically take our donations and we put them in the hands of the needy. We get rid of the middleman. Why send it to Italy when we can hand it to the people in our own community that need it? It makes a lot more sense. It's what God wants, and this is part of paying it forward, because I don't ask anything of you guys except that you pay it forward. If you learn anything here from what I'm talking about with like Litecoin or silver, that you take a portion of those profits and you pay it forward. And that's the message I've been delivering for 5 years now. What changed 2 weeks ago, when God jolted me again, was that these proceeds from the silver and Litecoin were accumulating. The Watchmen are all accumulating. We were just going to pay it forward, right? There was really nothing other than that. And then God said, no, that money coming from the Watchmen is going to be used to build the foundation of the new old church, because the way is Jesus's original church from 2,000 years ago. That's what he called it. This is the true church, the true Catholic church, the true church that came from the life of Jesus is the way. The Catholic Church was totally corrupted. And that's why, starting with the Council of Nicaea, where Emperor Constantine assembled the Bible that we have today. Most people don't even know that, don't know where the Bible came from. 330 AD, Emperor Constantine. He later made himself Pope, I think, or had the bishops vote him in as Pope. He's the one that called the shots on what went into the Bible. I believe that the Bible has been manipulated. I also believe that God controlled that manipulation so that enough would get through so that we would be strong enough to win this battle that we're in right now. And it's won. For all practical purposes, this is over. It's just a matter of when they're going to pick these people up. I mean, that's going to be it. When does President Trump decide to pull the trigger? Drop the hammer, start arresting these people. And I'm talking about the top dogs, because a lot of the lower level monsters have been already locked up, are being locked up every day. They're the hundreds. They're rescuing kids by the thousands, guys. 800,000 kids a year go missing in America. It's funny. I've been quoting this for months, maybe even years. And I just saw an argument today on Facebook. A couple of the members were doing their job and threw it out there. The 800,000 kids go missing. And right off the bat, a couple of guys jumped in. Oh, that can't be true. Oh, that's impossible. Think about it. It really is. It's horrifying that statistic isn't front page news. That's not the statistics that everyone is talking about every day. Instead of gun violence, I think it's 40,000 a year that we lose through gun violence or gun-related deaths. 40,000. Now, the majority of those 40,000 are suicides. Compare that to 800,000 children missing every year in America. And that's a fact. Look it up. And the reason the politicians aren't talking about it, because they know where they're going. All this stuff's coming out, guys. Everything I'm talking about within 6 months, a year for sure, will be common knowledge. Will be on the news 24/7. You know, these satanic pedophiles, the Vatican, the royal family, presidents, U.S. presidents. Look who's been to Pedo Island. Epstein was running a honeypot where they lure powerful people in, film them doing bad things, and then blackmail them with the videos. The NSA has thousands of hours of the most powerful people in the world torturing and murdering children. Yep, it's true. The Hillary Clinton snuff video is true. Frazzle Drip, that's the name of the video, is real. They got Hillary Clinton and Uma Abedin basically sexually assaulting and butchering, torturing to death an 8-year-old girl strapped to a operating table. A scene out of your worst horror movie. Worse. I've never seen anything like it. The description. I wouldn't watch the video. You can watch it on the dark web right now if you want. It's eventually going to be available. They're going to make this. All this evidence is going to be available for the public to view if they want to. Everything that's hidden will be known. Everything. I mean everything. Things you haven't even thought of, you're going to know about. Things you didn't have any clue existed, you're going to know about. I mean, listen, aliens are around, guys. Our government's been in contact since the 40s. That's a fact. It's all going to come out, as it should. We're going through a shift of consciousness in the world. I mean, you can see it if you look around. If you get off the mainstream media, and everybody should turn that crap off. All of it. Even Fox. You know, they'll only let Fox tell half the truth, if that. And the rest of them, I mean, turn off the impeachment trial. Turn off the protest in Virginia. They're all distractions. And you're falling for it. Don't fall for it. Don't play into the hands of the black hats, of the deep state, of the globalist. Do the most important thing anyone could do in the world is getting others red-pilled and prepared for what's coming. Because we're going to go into the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. That's what we're going to experience here in the next few months, over the next few months. That 90%, or no, what is it? 1% of the population of the world that owns 90% of the wealth, that 90% of the wealth is going to be stripped from those people. It's going to be returned to us, regular Joes, regular citizens, regular people, in the form of cryptocurrencies and precious metals. Litecoin, physical silver. God showed me these things for a reason, guys. I've estimated that I've got about 25,000 hours of research in now. I've basically done this for 5 years. I say 16 hours a day, but my ex-wife would say 20 hours a day. Basically every waking hour. Everything I see makes me believe everything God showed me, especially the Litecoin and silver. This thing is going to go through the roof. You know, people are talking about the run-up we're having right now. It's up, I don't know, God, it's 68 or something. It's nothing, guys. Wait till the economy collapses and see where it goes. It'll be $1,000 in a week. Litecoin will probably be $1,000. Well, let's to be safe. Let's say within a month of the collapse, Litecoin will probably hit $1,000, and silver might also. That's one of the things we're going to talk to you about today was the um, gold and silver. We talked about Litecoin, I think, yesterday. We posted the website. You buy it at Coinbase, transfer it to your ledger, which is your storage device. Everything will be posted, links for everything. We'll also post a link for SD bullion, where you can buy your physical silver. So people ask, what about gold? Just like they ask about, what about Bitcoin? Well, the reason you buy Litecoin is when you do the math, Litecoin is going to have a far superior return on investment than Bitcoin. Bitcoin sounds great. It's going to be worth 12 million, some analysts believe, in 4 years. 12 million, that's awesome. But it's over $8,000 right now. Okay, so that's still a great investment, right? You spend 8,000 to get 12 million. Almost anybody's going to do that, right? You'd be crazy not to if you knew it was going to happen for sure. Well, then what about Litecoin? Because a Litecoin today is under $70. Let's just say 70. And it's going to be worth 3 million in 4 years. Do the math. You can buy like 150 Litecoin for 1 Bitcoin. So what does it make most sense to buy? You want to buy Litecoin. The same thing with gold and silver. The historical ratio between gold and silver has been 10 to 1 for 5,000 years. If you look at the price for 5,000 years of gold and silver, it's taken about 10 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. That's how it comes out of the ground. It makes sense. That's how it would be priced. Well, because of all the manipulation in the last 30 plus years, the ratio is now like 85 to 1. It takes 85 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold. It's because they know silver is the poor man's metal, and they wanted to scare us off of it, like it's worthless. It's not worth buying, right? Well, when the manipulations remove, when the economy collapses, it's going to snap back to the historical average, which means that silver is going to come up to 150 right off the bat from 20 today, whatever it is, right around 20 out the door probably. That means that right off the bat, silver is going to outperform gold at least 8 to 1. Well, then when you factor in that over the next couple of years, there's going to be some really popular technology that requires large amounts of silver that will drive the price of silver, I believe, to equal the price of gold. And then when you figure that gold, which is valued at around 15 something today, when they go to gold-backed currencies, when this economy comes down, China, Russia, and America all have gold-backed currencies to roll out. One of the reasons that we got to this point in the economy where we had so much debt, worldwide, record, was because we went off the gold standard in 1971. There are two huge factors. The Federal Reserve in 1913, going off the gold standard in 71, and in the late 90s, Clinton jerked all the regulations out of the banking industry and just let them go hog wild. And here we are today with a currency that's not backed by anything. See, if we would still have a gold-backed currency, we wouldn't be in this boat. Because with a gold-backed currency, we could only print enough currency for the amount of gold we had on hand. That's it. You can't print any more. That's what we're going to go to. Back to real money. Gold-backed currencies. Well, when that happens, the analysts believe that gold will reevaluate to between $50,000 and $80,000 an ounce. So think about that. That could happen within 6 months of the collapse. Gold goes to 50,000, let's just say. Silver's 10% of that. Silver goes to 5,000. Then, eventually, I think silver goes over 50. Within 5 years, 10 years for sure. But probably within 5 years. You got to have physical silver. You got to have Litecoin, guys. You got to have both. Litecoin, you got to have it because the upside is so huge. You're crazy. Even if you don't believe it, spend $100. Buy one. Buy at least one. And physical silver you need in case the banks close. That's going to be your survival. You want for sure $200 or $300 worth of Roosevelt dimes. They're basically 1964 or older dimes. They're 90% silver. On the SD Bullion website, you'll find them listed under junk silver. Okay, you'll find the dimes under junk silver. You want $200 to $300 minimum. I think I've got over $2,000 worth of dimes. Just because I think if the banks close, the thing about the dimes are, everybody thinks the 1 ounce rounds. Yeah, they're great, but the problem with a 1 ounce round is there are so many mints. There's got to be hundreds around the world that mint silver, right? 999 silver, which is all good. But the problem is there's going to be a lot of counterfeiters out there when that little coin, that 1 ounce coin is worth $1,000. There's going to be a lot of counterfeiters. And people won't be familiar, the average person on the street won't be familiar with the different mints. They'll be reluctant to give you top dollar for it because they're not going to be sure a lot of times whether it's real or not. With a dime, everybody knows what a dime looks like. You can't really forge a 40, 50, 60-year-old dime. You can't get the patina. It's virtually impossible to do. So people are going to know they're 90% silver. They're going to know it's a U.S. dime. There will be a known price on the street for that dime. Plus, that dime may be worth $100. So you can always clip it. Pair of tin snips you can clip, because everybody will have a scale if this happens. And you can clip pieces off for your change. You can't do that with a 1 ounce round. So, say you're going to put 2,000 into silver. Okay, 300, 400, whatever you want to do, into the dimes, and then the balance, the $1,600, $1,700, put into as many of the cheapest 1 ounce rounds you can find on the website. And you'll see a bunch. You'll have a lot of different price selections. Listen, it's all the same. Get the cheapest one in a round. Simple. You could have all this done tonight. Open your Coinbase account. Oh, the one thing I want to reiterate is you got to have a major bank to open a Coinbase account. You can't open a Coinbase account with a little credit union or a little local savings and loan or a small local bank. It's got to be a big five. It's got to be Citibank, Wells Fargo, B of A, or Chase. My money's in Chase. They're the biggest. I think they're going to be the last one standing, which means it's better for us, because I think they're eventually all going to collapse, starting with the smaller ones. So, I'm not a big fan of Chase, but I think it's the best place to have your money. And then you can open an account pretty easily over the internet. It's pretty simple, guys. We got the chat room up and running on the website. So anybody that wants to go to the chat room after, I guess there were people on it before I came on. So it's the Watchmen.co. We also have the Watchmanway.com, which is going to be the religious site, the site for the new religion, new old religion. That's going to be up, I think, by Monday, I think, Lisa said. So I'll keep it posted on that. Yeah, and just to talk a little bit about the way, guys, we're going to get a lot of criticism. We're going to get a lot of heat from all the other religions, but it's mainly because they don't have an answer. And I will put this up against any religion. It's pure. It's simple. It's what God wanted. God didn't want this to be complicated. God didn't want there to be conflicts about religion. There's no conflicts with the way. He's not happy with church. He's not happy with what church has become. He's not happy with how man has manipulated and corrupted what he wanted church to be. Church isn't supposed to be in a building. The way is in all of us. We are the church. We're the church. It's not a building. There will be no buildings. We're going to meet in each other's homes. Meet in a barn, meet in a park, in an auditorium. We're going to talk among ourselves. There's going to be no priest. There's going to be no leaders. On our projects, if we're building a home for the homeless, yeah, the guy who has the most construction experience will probably lead that project. But for the church, for the way, there's not going to be any leaders. That's why Constantine didn't want it, because you can't control people with that, because you got no hook into them, right? That they wanted you to believe that we needed the priest. We had to rely on the priest. And then look what happened. Look what relying on the priest got us with the Catholic Church. 50% pedophiles, molesting our children for hundreds of years. It's been going on a long time, guys. This isn't anything new. God's not happy. God's not happy how we use the Bible. The Bible isn't meant as a weapon. It's not meant to beat each other with. And you can't imagine how many Christians I see almost every day quoting some passage from the Bible that they say allows them to attack their fellow Americans, fellow Christians, fellow human beings. There's no excuse. We're not judges. God is the judge. Let God do his job. Our job, if you're a watchman, if you're practicing the way, is to live your life in the service of others. To try and be a better person every day. To tell the truth all the time. Whether you think it's going to start a fight or not. No excuses. We're not going to use excuses to do the wrong thing anymore. We're going to do the right thing all the time. We know the difference between right and wrong. We don't need a priest to tell us, or a pope. Do the right thing. We're not going to be perfect. We're not going to have a perfect world when this is over. But think about this. When we remove the swamp and all these satanic pedophiles from the world, it's 90% of the evil is removed from the earth. These are the people that have caused every war the last 300 years, every terrorist attack, every school shooting has been engineered by these monsters. We remove this evil, 90% of the evil of the world, and then there's a surge. Millions of people are practicing the way. Can you imagine the world that we're going to have? It's going to be heaven on earth. As close as we can get to heaven on earth is what we're going to have. We're going to have the world that God intended us to have. Finally. It's going to be awesome. It's man's greatest age coming, guys. There's nothing to fear. It sounds scary, but there's nothing to fear from anything that's coming. Part of what we do here is get people prepared. The physical part is the silver, the Litecoin, the food, the water, the ammo. The mental part is thinking, getting your group set up, game planning, different scenarios. What's going to happen if somebody kicks in my front door? What happens if, there's rioting and looting and you live in the city? What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Who are you going to meet with? All this stuff has to be pre-planned. That's part of the mental part of it. Having a plan so that you don't panic when something unexpected hits. Can't panic, guys. Got to use your heads. Got to take a deep breath, think it through. Panic will get you killed in a dangerous situation. And then spiritually, it's understanding that if you're a watchman and you're doing this work, doing God's work, you have nothing to fear. Because God forbid, let's say we get caught in a crossfire somewhere, and we don't make it, where do you think we're going? We're going where we want to go. So, I'm going to guarantee you, every single one of us, when we finally get there, we're all going to and see what it's like and how awesome it is. We're going to wonder why we fought so hard to stay alive, because even though the earth we're creating is going to be beyond our wildest dreams, it's not going to compare to the real thing. So it's all good, guys. It's a positive word. I think there might be stuff coming that we have to worry about a couple years down the road, but for the immediate future, the next year, 18 months, millions of people dying in this collapse. There's not going to be a nuclear war. There's not going to be any invasions. I don't think we're going to see a lot of major earth changes with major cataclysms. I think we're going to see an uptick in earthquakes and volcanoes. There's going to be some people die there. But I don't think we're going to see an event where millions die. I think we averted all that. I think the Armageddon the Bible talks about is being played out right now. The battle between good and evil is being played out mostly in the spiritual, the physical too, and you'll be amazed how much comes out. When everything's revealed, we're going to hear about everything that's been going on the last couple of years behind the scenes. All the things they did, all the bases they took out around the world. When President Trump took office, we were badly outnumbered. There were way more globalists in the government than there were patriots. And now we're at the verge of winning this whole thing. So it's all good, guys. It's all good. Keith, how's it going? James, it's a chance for you guys to ask questions. Anybody that has any questions, go ahead and put them out. I'll see if I can answer them for you. So the other thing we're going to be doing on the website is having a place you guys can send in ideas for projects, different things. Some ideas we've had are, obviously building homes for the homeless, project crews that can do like construction maintenance, painting, roofing, kids that go around doing lawn, yard work for the elderly that can't do it for themselves. There's a ton of ideas out there. A lot of them don't cost a lot of money. And then we're also going to have a section where we can hook, projects up to the right funding, where members that are I anticipate that we'll all have maybe a yearly budget that we're going to donate, and that we can now, list our funds available for donation through our website, and then match it up with people who maybe have good ideas but don't have the funding. So that's where I see the Watchmen ending up. I don't want to be a leader of a religious movement. We are here to start this thing, get the ball rolling, and then it's going to take a life of its own. God has been telling me almost every day, this is going to be huge. This is going to grow like wildfire. This is going to eventually be the biggest religion in the world, guys. I think in the next 20 years, within 20 years, this will be the biggest religion in the world. Maybe within 10. Because think about, these aren't normal times. At the same time, everybody in the world is going to realize how badly we have been lied to, stolen from, manipulated, murdered. And we're going to want something different. And people are going to be looking for something pure like the way. A place to seek comfort. A place where they can talk to like-minded people. People that care about God, about country, about their families, about our future, about our fellow human beings. Live your life in the service of others. Try and be a better person every day. tell the truth all the time. Anybody want to knock it? I'm here. You can't knock it. You can't knock it legitimately. You can't. God would say you can't. Jesus would. This is the only religion on earth that Jesus would endorse. That's a fact. Think about that. If Jesus came back today, this is the religion that he would endorse because it's his. I don't know how much more simple it can be, guys. I don't know how much more simple it can be. I mean, when he that I didn't see this, you know, sometimes you get so focused on pushing forward that you miss the obvious. Because when he said it, it was like, oh my God, how did I not put that together, right? We're paying it forward anyway, and we're going to need something like this. You know, I've you know, in the back of my mind, I thought people would gravitate to us and we would just be doing this thing, but I never put it together with, you know, with the way. Well, now we have the big picture. Now we have the complete picture. Now we have a little side, it's not really a sideline, because it's going to be the main focus of the Watchmen once we get through the recovery. You know, once we get through this rough patch, then we push the way. That's what we're going to do. Okay, let's see what we got here. Tommy, how you doing? Susan, Amanda, Christine, did I already do this? Mike, David. See, the other thing, guys, I had a hemorrhagic stroke 10 months ago. March 12th last year. So sometimes I lose my train of thought. You know, I had some cognitive stuff. I'm blind on the left side and partially blind and some cognitive stuff. It's all good. It's all good. And, you know, the silver lining is after you've had a stroke, you know, you can always say, you know, if you just make a mistake, it's a stroke. And nobody's ever going to call you on it because, and it's funny, everybody treats you different after you've had one of those things that almost kills you. So, all kidding aside, Michelle, Randy, Kelly, Chad, Brother Dale, what's up? Rebecca, how are you? Lisa, hello. Myra, Rita, Wes Gilbert, how you doing, buddy? How's your dad? Barbara, how are you? Okay, no questions, guys. What's going on? You guys know it all? Well, I think I might take this opportunity to have an early night, guys. If nobody has any last minute questions, remember when you're out there, you know, emailing, making phone calls, texting, or on social media, share all of this content, share these live chats, share the video. Everything's a rich man's trick. It's on my page, it's on the Watchmen page, it's on the website. Everything's a rich man's trick. Share that video with everyone you know. Email it to everyone you know. You want to red pill your friends as quick as you can? This is a 3.5-hour video. Tell them it's saving them 30 or 40 hours in research because it's absolutely the best video I've ever seen to red pill. It's so well done, I can't say enough about it. I mean, I knew everything that they were talking about, but even though I knew all the material, it was still riveting the way they laid it out. It was very well done. I can't say enough. So definitely share that. Go find it and share it. If you can't find it, message me. It's that important. It's that good, you guys. Anybody who has not seen this has to watch it. Listen, you've got to watch. If you want to be a watchman, you've got to know everything in this video. You've got to know it backwards and forwards. So please watch the video if you haven't seen it. Everything's a rich man's trick. It's by Jennifer Mack, I think, who re-recorded it, or this, I guess, has come. She maybe pieced together a couple of different videos to get this the way it is. But anyway, excellent. You definitely have to take a look. So remember, stay positive. Stay positive when you're talking to people about this. It has to happen. That's how you explain it. These monsters have to be removed. The bankers have to be removed. This criminal banking and financial system has to be stripped down and rebuilt. We have to have a gold-backed currency. We need to get rid of the Fed. We need to get rid of the IRS. All that's coming, guys. All the attacks on the Constitution are going away in President Trump's second term. Swamp's got to come first. You know, all the other stuff will be taken care of. It's all good, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. Remember, fear not. God and President Trump are 1,000% in control. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.